Every time they reach out to me, I think this is it. All I need is one friend with whom I can pray, fellowship, exchange notes, and fight the darkness of the land together. And proper, just to fellowship. That's all I need. Nothing more. Basically, umngane in Christ. It goes a long way to have somebody with whom to relate and say, this sucks. How can they do that? This world is bad, right? And I've had a few come and go. The men always go awry because they are always commenting on, you're so pretty in this video. Ooh, I like your mole. They're basically making it clear that I think you're pretty or beautiful. If you are prepared to, we could roll. But women, there's always a neutrality. There's always we're fighting these dastardly systems. So I prefer women contacting me instead of men. I really do. Because men rarely ever have the right thing on their mind. Rarely ever are they trying to just fellowship or just trying to reach out to me or just trying to have my back or just trying to pat me on the shoulder. Men are always just trying to do something strange. And so when a woman reached out, I was like, this is it. But you see, just like my older sister, I'm sorry. There are certain relationships that if you don't sever them, even though it hurts you, in the long run, it's going to break you. Today, it's a prick. Today, it's a burn on your thigh that's going to leave a permanent scar. But tomorrow, it is an engulfing with flames in a room that you can't escape. It will finish you. Get out with minor burns on your cheeks and on your thighs. Do not let the building crash on you, because then on that day, you're not going to have an excuse. I was making excuses. I was out here calling God, blaspheming in the center of all of my insanity. I blasphemed against my king, and I blamed him for tempting me for what I did to my sister, or concerning my sister yesterday. I don't want to blame God for all the pain that I endure. How could you throw me in all this mess? Look now, I am in a foreign country with this person that's crazy. She's just jumped me with a kiss. You know from South Africa that I was dealing with licentious men, and then you put me in a country with a woman that is licentious. She's literally a lesbian that figured that she can take me for herself, and you let me move across the oceans to her country, only for her to throw at me, be my wife, or I will leave you on the street. Ke airport thing as a toddler with this chick holding my hand. Ha! I would have looked at God and said to him, I leave South Africa bereft because of licentious men over there, only for me to be whammied by some lesbian woman from the US or bisexual woman from the US who got upset with me because I wouldn't reciprocate feelings and just left me out on a limb after organizing for me to move from South Africa to her land. Yazi, it all just dawned on me with crystal clarity this last night, and because of it, I've been bereft. I've been devastated the whole night. I literally woke up at like 4 a.m. in the morning. No, not 3. I didn't wake up. I slept at around 6 a.m. and then at around 7, I went outside with the sun, everything rising, because I couldn't sleep. I was bereaved. I was devastated by everything that had happened. My mom, my sister, then this woman, like all these things, just going on all over the show, that I thought, I was like, God, make this woman get away from me. Make this woman get away from me. Because yeah, now on top of that, she's a friend that keeps on passing me shade. She's going awry. And when I went outside, I went to go and check if she has responded to the last text that I wrote her. And she hadn't. And it gets somebody time to high of when she responds. And she hadn't. I was like, she's not going to respond again. We're talking now for another 24 hours. So it's going to become 3 days. Last time, Kimu wished she say Happy New Year. And she didn't even respond to me for 5 days. I'm sorry. Hakimu email. Hakimu ngolela. She sometimes responds in a way that's clearly cynical. And then when I start to retract, back away, then she tethers me with a lengthy text. Something so I go outside, and the reason I went outside was because that's the only way I can catch Wi-Fi on my phone, and I just blocked her everywhere. I don't usually block people, but this time around I blocked her. I don't block people because I want to give them an opportunity and an avenue to speak to me when they want to. But the last time, a woman that hurt me with witchcraft after we fellowshipped, a South African woman, I came and I spoke about my experiences concerning that, and afterwards she just littered me with swearing on Facebook. She just fetched me kadi washing, and she started to tell me that I deserve everything that came my way, that my family, the way they treat me, it's because I'm schizophrenic, I'm psychotic, I'm this, that, and what the other. So because of how I got harassed by the last woman who that one wasn't a lesbian, she was just a jealous freak that decided to bewitch me to end up working in some lowly little stupid job. Kilo waiter di tables go wimpy. Yo, kilo go wimpy. That happen in we go stir chemical. ke rekisa di-ticket tsa di-movie because she didn't want me working any viable job. Yeah, very well. Okay, so this chick did that. The other one from South Africa that did that to me, and after I called her out for her witchcraft after I made mention of the fact that I met someone that came at me with witchcraft to basically highlight the era of South Africa, the problems of this country, she then wrote me horrible emails and then claimed that my God is a small g God, and so not to eradicate me being horribly afflicted like that by someone who's busy ka di-tarot card and hape wang lawyer umpatla as a wife, umpatla with a lesbian relationship, she wants me to bat for the other team and experiment. I was like, I'm gonna block this woman and I'm gonna share my heart concerning these crazy issues, and she will not be able to write me. She is not going to be able to respond. She's not going to be able to say to me, what nonsense is this? She will just, if she listens to my content, which I don't even think she does, because like you don't even really have a true supporter when someone doesn't need, like, I don't know, like the tough line kick. She came in here insulting me and I put her in a place and I told her I can't fellowship with somebody that's here insulting me, and then she was like, I'm sorry. And then we fellowshipped. So she already came in on a bad note and I gave her a chance. But she's just gone awry ever since then. Like, you know, things that start out alright, people always manifest on me. And it's ironic because when she first rocked up in my grill, she said that I manifested demons based on what she saw in my content because I was singing. And I was like, Yazin, I cannot have somebody calling me incoherent and manifesting demons when this work, I do it in order to overcome suicide ideation and all different kinds of stuff. It's healing for me. So if you cannot have anything good to say, that's why I don't have a comment section on YouTube. Just don't write me. With all due respect, stay there and I'll stay there. And then she was like, I'm sorry, I just don't know how to go about my words. And I opened an avenue. I was like, okay, that's cool. Just insofar as you and I can start on a respectful ground for with each other, we're good. And we hit it off as friends. I please, like, it's just not a thing. Yeah. Mara, it turns out that this woman, I get what happened over there, how she developed feelings for girls, or if it's always been a thing with her. But bottom line is she has no reverence for God. And not for, never mind the lesbian desires where I am concerned, but she every so often practices tarot cards. I also got a dream a couple of weeks ago with her hiding something underneath her bed, and I was like, what is that? And God was basically showing me she's hiding something. But I carried on fellowshipping with her anyway. She needs to go and deal with God. Okay, she needs to go and fellowship with God. All I can right now, the only all that this message is for her is, you're not saved. You're gonna get super depressed until you commit suicide unless you truly convert to Jesus, because right now he sees your filth and just doesn't approve. It's all that basic. Yeah. But as for me, I don't carry on like this. The sad thing about this woman is that she gave me a small donation. And so because she gave me ever since, frankly, she gave me that small donation. Ever since then, that's when she changed. She changed on me after enabling me alone. That donation, and that small donation, if at all, it created that kind of entitlement in her over me to treat me like I'm something that needs her. What in the world if I were to keep her around and every month she's helping me out with toiletries? Every month she's doing this. If I let her do such big things for me that I won't be able now to without guilt let go, I'm gonna be bound to her for life. I realized sutured to her for life. The Lord also showed me that I remind her of some other woman that she was with. Some other woman. And she looks at me and so the woman that she was with, that she was dating, that she was actually having a lesbian relationship with, was a white girl. But I remind her of that girl. And I'm like, yo, Yazan girl, you have unresolved issues with your God. You have unresolved issues with your God, and you are experimenting like the women in Sodom. So literally deal with that. Deal with that. But you cannot be relied on or trusted by women in the faith while you still have these passions, enough for you to completely ignore God, and also while you're still dabbling with witchcraft and using tarot cards. I literally do apologize. I'm sorry. I can say this woman, yeah, proper. Ex-lover, yo guys, go busy. And I keep seeing envy, jealousy. I'm old, right? I'm 40. I look so young because of, I could say, my black skin. Or look, I'm preserved, even for a black woman, because of God. And she covets that too. So she's jealous like a typical woman would be jealous of another woman, and then she is entitled and whatnot. I just don't want Lomudnona to give me too much. So if I can make this kind of decision concerning this woman, and again a woman, what then of crazy men? Not proper. Like, I let this woman into my space because she was a woman. Men, I am more guarded where you are concerned. and I would highly unlikely see your witchcraft and brush it off. Because I despise what you do more even than what women ever can do. Because you've got a protuberance that can out here penetrate me. A protuberance that can out here penetrate and so violate me in ways that a woman never can. Women can't rape me, even if they tried. These lesbians that keep on experimenting on me. First and foremost, it's an equal playing ground. We've got similar body strength. So I've got a fair shot at punching a woman and make her concussed, run away if she's trying to do strange stuff to me. And even then, how do you rape a woman as a woman? I don't even know how lesbians partake in sexual relations, but they do that, right? Bottom line is, it's just far less effective for a woman to try and rape a woman than a man to rape a woman. So somebody that has got that much power to not only pin me down because their upper body strength is that much haughtier than mine, men, but also literally invade my nether regions with their own. I will not let you get beyond the first dream I get about you and your korobela. I ignored a lesbian's korobela because ke lesbian and happy. It was like I couldn't believe it, but I saw it and I continued to fellowship with her. Men, you won't get past that first base. You are not going to get past it. I do not beg because I'm frustrated and for the sake of relief. This woman wanted to take care of me. I thought she wanted to have my back as a sister. One time, life in general, and I told her about the fact that my vehicle is kind of stuck. And I was like, no, my car is cool. My car is cool because I'll move it when I'm ready. And she didn't respond to that, evidencing that she was upset with my response. And I couldn't understand why until I realized Uguti, just like the men who infiltrate my space, she wants to take care of me so I can rely on her. But she can never ever, even if I end up being feeling indebted to her for helping me, I could never ever develop feelings. So I can say this chick na gana for I cannot tell you what she was gunning for. I literally cannot tell you what this woman was gunning for. I cannot tell you what she was gunning for. But she wanted to service my vehicle, and potentially anything else that I would need. And I would have been happy to receive this support if it was coming from a genuine sister in Christ, happy to help a sister in Christ until such time that she's able to get on her own feet. That's what I would have done for a sister. But when you're coming with ulterior motives, I'm sorry, no. We are not doing this. Guys, wait again, I'm not gonna be made an idiot. Do you understand? Yeah. For the sake of relief of my pains, I am not going to the last one over there. I do not kiss the buttocks of wrong, arrogant folk for relief. I need relief. My corset is tight. My life is sad. But I'm not going to come and embrace a couple of dollars, a couple of euros, a couple of rands from someone that's going to rock up that is with ill-gotten gain and with ulterior motives and strings attached. I'm not going to just keep on smiling with them for the photo op because they make sure that my toiletries don't run out. It's okay. My provider is God, nobody else. And I believe him and I trust him. So therefore, if I could kick a lesbian to the curb that at some point would have woken up to realize Gucci, she's never going to get anything out of me, how much more would I kick a man into the curb? I keep dreaming about the guy in America trying to come in, but a whole slew of other guys. Last night I was lambasted by just this horrific nightmare where my older sister yet again afflicted me in the dream, and it caused some white man that I don't know to offer me a job and then rescind it and say of me that I'm dumb. He said to me that I'm dumb, that's why he's taking the job away, and then threw me back to my family after giving me a job. So the Lord was basically telling me, look out for people who are going to try to help you because they keep on planning and plotting and scheming. They're going to offer you initial support and enablement, and you are going to be tied to them to give you independence from your family. They're going to successfully give you independence, only for them to start demanding stuff from you. And when you say no, they're going to throw you right back to your mother's house. There is a white man who is seriously plotting and scheming in that regard. He wanted to give me a job as an under him, and he's my boss. The only reason why that white man would have that level of bravado is likely because he is a white man. I've been saying that my husband is white, so he's leaning on that. But there was a day when the Lord showed me a man complaining, saying, but I'm English. The Lord showed me a man crying, saying, he wasn't crying, he was complaining, upset, basically like kicking a door or something. He was like, but I'm English. The Lord showed me my husband is a white man from the US. And this dude was like, but I'm English. Are you going to tell me that she's going to turn me down because I'm from the UK? There is a man from the United Kingdom, an English man in particular, that is white, that's looking at me, that's trying to ride the wave of what's going on with me. And from what the Lord showed me, he wants to offer me a job in exchange for pleasantries, cause me to gain independence, me believe that he's my husband. Maybe I saw wrong. And then when I don't basically act as he would desire, literally, rudely, and very aggressively, with limited care for my heart, just throw me back to my family because I would not move. And in my dream, this man went so far as to call me stupid. He called me dumb. In my dream, I was trying to keep the job that I had with him by telling him, look, I'm smart, I can do my job, why are you firing me? And he was like, no, you're not, you're dumb. So he had it in for me. He had it in for me, like a narcissist that had it in for me, that just wanted one opportunity to basically say to me, you are actually not even all that smart, even though you think you're smart. That is an individual that has a crush on me. They've got feelings for me, but they also are passive aggressive where I'm concerned because they hate my God. And so anything to insult me. I am not going to be devastated in relationships like those. I'm too prophetic and I see. But they wanted to use the crazy of my sister to facilitate that process because they realized that my mom is not so bad towards me. So they've been working on my sister, hence why she's manifesting this horrifically. I will never ever listen. I do not argue, I walk out. I also do not beg, again, I walk. I also do not kiss the buttocks of wrong, arrogant folk for relief. And I'm not going to repeat the last one because after all, I'm not into patronizing. I told you that I'm a snob. Do you understand? When I first started speaking here, I've been a snob all my life. Even in trauma, I've been a snob. We understand that misery loves company. But being a snob, I don't stay in jungles. I do everything in my power to get out. Because I can't deal with all this shrubbery, forestry, everything that's making me itch. This life is making me itch. This acne on my face that I can't deal with fast enough is making me itch. The fact that I can't rewire my orthodontics is making me itch. The fact that I don't have prescription glasses, even though I need them, is making me itch. The fact that my hair is not as well kept as I would love it to be, making me itch. The fact that I don't have a nail manicure and tips, making me itch. And I'm not about to stay in a jungle that's going to keep me a simple woman, even though I'm a snob. I am not going to let anybody give me a substandard life in comparison to the one that I'm used to. I understand what God has promised me. Neither eye has seen, nor ear heard, nor mind conceived the things which God has prepared for those who wait for him. I've got a whole bunch of men trying to take me, some of whom could indeed enable my lifestyle, but there are others who are so poor that I would perpetually never, perpetually just salivate after a French manicure all year again. Like it would be a treat for my birthday. The way and yet they want me as a wife because I'm so poor presently. Men who want to keep me living marooned on a jungle and island because at least there is a healthy diet here full of fruit. When you're in the inner city, in the jungle, in the concrete jungle, you're always eating donuts. So here your figure will be maintained, baby. They want me to see the bright side of this jungle life because when I was thrown in the jungle, they were already in it. They squandered their lives, their futures. They messed up with their careers. They messed up with their businesses. They messed up with their homes, their children. They messed up with their former wives. They messed up with so very many things that they're now living substandard lives, even though they once had some kind of apparent glory. And they are saying, Karabo, God put us together because both of us come from great things, and now we've fallen apart. It is in order that we might rise together again. Some of these crazy guys, God showed me that they are looking at me as a meal ticket. Essentially, they think that if they come together with me, they will finally be able to bounce back to what it is under heaven that they used to be. And then now it's like, listen, I did not drive into a jungle. And so find myself, over here, my plane crashed. So because my plane crashed, I am here by mistake, by happenstance, by fortuity, and it is an error for me to be here. I don't deserve to be here. I did not throw myself in a jungle. Whereas these people threw themselves in a jungle, and that's why we're different. I did not take drugs, and so now I'm down some crazy rabbit hole where I can't recover my life. I did not have some wild, crazy relationship with some man that ruined my stats and made me drop out of school. I did not dabble with witchcraft mess up so much. Basically, I did not ruin my life. I was victimized. There is a difference. And the Lord considers basically the inhabitants of this forsaken island differently. We are not all equal. Others have been thrown in here by victimization, fortuity, chance, while others literally threw themselves here. The Lord will award favor to the victims of a plane crash, but he will not award favor to the individuals who drove themselves to a finished life, a diminished life, a life that is uncharacteristic to how they started out. We might be on the same island, but I am journeying through it. It's a valley of the shadow of darkness, and I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. But people who are in this misery, trapped in it, because they threw themselves in it. Look at me or us that are shipwrecked or plane wrecked. Like we're the same thing. We are not. There is a rescue mission to set us free. And people who are missing us, writhing, crying, bereaved that we went missing after a plane crashed. Whereas these guys, their whole families were staging interventions, expecting them to come around. Jabu, but why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you cheating on your wife? Why are you doing that and the other? They ruined their lives while everyone in society was gawking at them until they landed in an island. And now these worthless men and women literally want to make us who have been shipwrecked one and the same thing so as to keep us in this horrible place. Misery loves company. But you see, I'm a snob and I don't belong in a jungle, in a bush. The Lord keeps comparing me to Paris Hilton in The Simple Life, an heiress that for a season is out here milking cows. I'm getting out of here. But I can understand, Black Jacks, why you would latch onto my jersey as this pristine, shiny thing going through a jungle is going through it. You are going to imagine that you've been brought food aid to carry on living your crazy life in a jungle while you have no mission on you at all to get yourself out. You want me miserable. You want to keep me sorrowful and in a lot of pain in the situation that I'm in. So you can be able to say, but baby, come on, consider me. What the heck? Wangha. You are dumb, you're worthless, I don't like you. And on top of that, you threw yourself in this jungle. You took yourself to jail. You messed with your baby mama. You messed with everything in your life. Osense, you were a drug dealer. And how could that go to prison? You then became a voodoo practitioner. Versus a woman with a perfectly thriving career. And like Daniel in the Lion's Den, she was sabotaged by colleagues and now she's in the jungle. Honey, we are not the same thing. So people that ruined themselves and me, their misery is loving company and they think that they can just latch onto me. But just like Black Jacks on wool, I'm going through the bush. And when I get out, I'm going to pick them out. I'm going to pick them out. But they are stuck in there. It's the little habitat. It's their home. It's their habitat. It's their home. They're like little animals. And so because they are like little animals living in that habitat, because they have adjusted with the jungle, they're literally trying to talk me down. I keep getting dreams of people saying to me, no one is coming for you. You're going to end up waiting tables. You're going to turn 50 going nowhere. I'm like, Yazin is in Jamina. I need to go and do a manicure and a pedicure. I also need to go to an orthodontist, a dentist. I also need to go to an optometrist, a dermatologist. I need to go and get my hair did. I need to go to the gymnasium and fix my body and exercise again. I need to have a lifestyle recovered to me while you are just squatting, swinging from tree to tree like a monkey or Tarzan because you are a jungle boy. I am not that thing. I am not the miserable thing that a lot of y'all that are wreaking havoc in my life are. I am a victim of a plane crash. I was supposed to land at an airport that is clean with me able to buy little trinkets as souvenirs. You drove into a desert. Huge difference. Do not compare yourselves to me, please. We are not the same thing. We are not the same thing. And anyone that tries to keep me in this freaking jungle, the Lord is going to eliminate. I had a dream of some worthless dude with vampire teeth in hellfire, bleeding all over the show saying, I'm the reason why even her advanced features were taken away. So it turns out that there was some kind of wind beneath the wings of that silly little freak at YouTube that took away my advanced features. He was in hellfire being tortured and I could see all the blood all over him. And he was now in severe rejection, not what is this, that too, but regret because he thought no one was coming for me. I told you, I am Van Damme and you are Dompo in Bloodsport. I am the hero. I am Brad Pitt in Fight Club. I am the hero. I'm the one that wins in these streets. But in the run-up to, you are going to bite me. You are going to chew into my skin. You are going to gnaw away at me. You are going to leech off my back like indeed the parasite that you are. But I am going to come out of this victorious. And I'm going to walk into the sunset with my wonderful husband that, like me, maybe may have been marooned on an island or he never got marooned. But bottom line is he's been a responsible man all this time. As for the rest of y'all jungle roamers that don't even want to follow me out, at least seeing as you drove yourself to the jungle, seek out a rescue effort to find rehabilitation, recover to God. Stop walking in darkness and stop trying to pull down suffering saints with you because you found them in the same rut that you're in. However, you put yourself in it, whereas they were thrown in a pit. We're not the same thing, but we could get out through the same source. His name is Jesus. I am calling you to redemption. You can either take it or leave it. Mara, I am not one of you, so please stop thinking of me as the same thing. I will not get into a relationship with a crazy man in the same way that I will not maintain a crazy friend in my life. I get ready somebody that is just going to keep making me look like I'm crazy. I'm out of my mind for complaining about valid things that I ought to complain about. Nobody is going to play mind games with me. I'm not doing it. So ke mo kapile this woman, and I cannot die. My prayer is that o tla ipha modimo ka nnete a ska ipolaya, but she's facing a suicide death because she is holding on to, just like the guy in America, holding on to voodoo. She's holding on to tarot cards. I can say how she's able to reconcile those two. I literally cannot. But baloyi, I'm sorry, I don't like you. And the moment I discover that somebody is using witchcraft on me, they're done permanently. Nobody comes back into my life. Oloya. The only witches that are still in my life are the ones in my family. Everybody else, Ambanyo Babuza, my ex-best friend, Okogai, Dololo, my former colleagues, Dololo, Haona, even a single witch that is an outsider that can contact me and have me have lunch with them. Not even one. Nobody stays in my life that can manipulate a person's life spiritually and cause poltergeist activity that is undiagnosable, following which they all just deny that they did it. Hi. So anyone that's trying, I know, I dare you. I don't want to last us back as America lasted 1 month. The dude from the US lasted 3 weeks. The chick from South Africa about 2.5 weeks. Another chick from South Africa 1 week. Another dude from South Africa 3 weeks. They don't last. They literally start out alright and then they go alright fast because they manifest demons. So the dude from the UK, the white man, that out here wants to offer me a job and then treat me like trash once I'm dependent on that opportunity. Only way that you can fire a person and it stick is if you move me to the United Kingdom. Because in South Africa, you can't just fire anybody. So this guy clearly was trying to move me to his country, only to bring me back to South Africa. Don't even bother. Stay over there in the UK. Find some other woman to dupe. But as for the body of Christ, we don't go out like that. What we do is avoid anybody that wants to argue with us because we walk. We avoid anybody that wants us to beg them because we walk. And we also avoid anybody that wants us to kiss their buttocks when they are wrong in all of that arrogance. No need to say walking again, because, don't want to patronize anybody, seeing as I don't want anybody doing anything to me that they wouldn't do to themselves. I don't want to be the typical thing that you are. I am leaving South Africa and I'm moving to the US, but not through this woman. The Lord already showed me some white man from the US that's not even a Christian is going to motion what is necessary to get me set free out of here, because he's going to find me and so enable my cause along, but he's not going to be rocking up in a romantic demeanor. And I also spoke about an FBI investigation that's happening against social media companies, like against a syndicate in Africa that's operating. There's a few things that are going to set me free. I sort of kind of low-key know what to expect in terms of my recovery, and I also know where I'm moving. I also have a very poignant spiritual gift that anybody that would try to slide into my DMs. There was a guy from the US, a black man, that tried to slide in, telling himself that since he's American, he's going to slide in, and God exposed him too. Everyone gets exposed, but keep trying, keep trying. I am sorrowful, I'm sad, I'm bereft, I'm broken now, because yet another person has come into my life and gone. And now it's going to be all empty and dry with no fellowship for months. But it's okay. It's no tragedy that I'm not used to. I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter. And because of how well I fight, I eventually get out of this. I'll be cool. I'm not parched or starved. I'm not withheld from basic things, so relax. I will live, I will survive. And at the opportune time, the Lord will send the right people to me. And they are not going to exploit my circumstance. They're not going to try to marry me as women. They're not going to try to marry me as men that aren't godly. They're not going to try, you get my point. I know who I am in Christ, and Christ knows who he has made me to be. And he will fulfill his promises in my life, with or without the support and respect of people who feel entitled to my worship because they gave me some kind of donation, or because they realize that there's nobody else coming for me. And so I must need them. I've been doing this for years by myself. I can fight by myself. It's just better for me to have somebody with me. But if I don't have somebody with me, literally I will live. It's not ideal, but it's doable. That's what needs to be comprehended right now. So all the best, come at me. New rando, come at me. Anybody else that's new, come at me and see how far that gets. As for South Africa, literally I do apologize, I'm sorry. This here is an apology that I'm sending out there. Okay, all of y'all with these funny little weird relationships that you have, just like my mom having those funny weird relationships with her friends, where you are willing to settle for at least I'm in a relationship, at least I'm in a friendship, at least I got peoples, at least I can go to a bride with people with whom I will be in agreement with, even though they are toxic, even though you keep on bashing heads, even though you are in disagreement for the better majority, even though you are low-key, passive-aggressive each, but you're friends. That's not life. I sought the Lord's face for people that, like me, can give as much to a relationship, be it in friendship or romance, as I am prepared to give. If I can be this willing to sacrifice myself and lay myself flat for a friend or the man I love, one certainly exists out there, and a couple of women certainly exist out there that can reciprocate friendship with me without looking down on me and without feeling entitled to my worship and my respect, and me taking whatever they have to throw at me, and all the disrespect of being ghosted only to be yo-yoed back into hello, how you doing? I don't have to deal with that indefinitely in the future, because I trust that women like me exist that are going to maintain love without treating me like I'm desperate, and vice versa. And there's also a man that's not going to look at my sorrow as a ticket, a meal ticket, an opportunity to increase his clout, or an opportunity to grab a really gifted woman for the price of 0, for the price of like 10, for the price of 1. Yeah, someone that's going to exploit my sorrow because they see that it's sorrowful. I don't have to take nonsense in my stride, because if God could make me like this, he can make anyone else like this. So I trust there to be faithful ladies who can be good friends, and especially a faithful man who can be a good husband. I don't need to settle for scraps. So once more, let us reiterate. I do not argue, I walk out. I also do not beg, again, I walk. I also do not kiss the buttocks of wrong, arrogant folk for relief. And I will not repeat that last one, because I don't want to patronize anybody, seeing as they are perpetually patronizing me. I'm not going to be in a situation where I am going to be at the mercy of a narcissist. It's not happening. God loves me. He protects me. He shields me. And he knows that he is jealous for me enough to block me from getting into a relationship with a person, be it friendship or romance, that's going to make me blame him for why I sinned. He loves me too much. So all the best, keep trying. I'm signing out in Christ's name, K. Peace. By the way, I wanted to show you proof. The sun is already rising. See what time it is in the morning. It's like 5. Anyway, I wanted to show you what I was talking about in the kitchen. After this morning, when I woke up, my mom spoke to her because she felt guilty. She not only gave me an 18 of toilet paper, but she also, because I complained about the toilet paper, she felt guilty. But she also made her bring back the sweets, but it's not even close to how many of them there were. She just brought back 2 packs. That's how many she took. She only brought back 2 packs because she imagined, okay, fine, I'll give you 2. But then the peanuts and the popcorn are still there. I just wanted to show you the proof so you don't think I'm making stuff up. I'll even show you the 18 of toilet paper. Because I cried. If I had not cried, I would have lost toilet paper, sweets, just a life, whatever. Stuff I don't get to have. Stuff I don't get to have. Sparkly drink, because there was an event. So I'm indulging. That's me. And all that was taken away. Like I told you, if at all, it's to be kept in the refrigerator. It didn't move. But stuff that could be put in the pantry, it got legs. Who lives like that? I don't want to have to keep on crying and complaining, and only after 24 hours people fix my life. I'm leaving this country. I'm finally signing out in Christ's name, K. Peace. That's how it's done.